Have you ever truly realized how one tiny problem in the marketing department can suddenly cause massive repercussions across your entire supply chain and severely damage employee morale? The holographic universe theory in physics puts forth the astonishing premise that every minute part of a system fundamentally contains the complete information of the whole system entirely and simultaneously. This powerful concept deeply suggests that your entire organization is essentially a cosmic hologram where a single failure point rapidly replicates itself throughout the company's existing rigid structure. Mastering this essential understanding of systemic interconnectedness is the absolute key to creating an organization that remains highly adaptable and profoundly resilient against rapid market disruption. Successfully fixing a localized problem at the individual level is a critical debugging action that directly improves the overall quality of the entire system simultaneously and effectively. What is the one single element that every individual in your organization must possess to fully represent the company's overall holistic vision? I will be revealing the foundation of this crucial organizational DNA in the middle section of this video. I personally spent years working in a large company that strictly enforced rigid hierarchies and informational silos, where every department operated without knowing the context of others, causing massive operational inefficiency. When inevitable problems arose, each separate division reacted independently, which ironically only compounded the crisis further, because no one perceived the holistic big-picture solution. I quickly realized that our biggest persistent struggle was never a lack of resources, but a systematic failure to recognize the complex interdependence between core components that profoundly degraded overall performance. Perhaps you also recognize this dilemma, employing incredibly smart teams, but finding their collective output sluggish due to unnecessary internal friction that wastes valuable energy. Studying complex systems theory completely transformed my management perspective, clearly teaching me that performance is an emergent property arising from how parts interact, not simply from isolated individual capabilities. We will analyze exactly how deep integration and radical transparency can fundamentally change the way your organization intelligently responds to necessary market changes. The core issue making traditional organizations severely vulnerable is the reductionist approach, which meticulously breaks large problems into separate, isolated small components, while completely ignoring the vital interconnections between them. When a problem bridges across multiple departments, like a sudden supply chain crisis, impacting immediate sales, the fragmented organization fails to respond quickly because no single unit possesses all the relevant information needed. This outdated approach successfully creates artificial boundaries that severely impede the necessary flow of critical information and energy required for effective strategic problem solving. A minor failure in one isolated component, for example, a small software bug, can easily cascade and cause much larger systemic failure throughout the tightly coupled network. Organizations must immediately stop seeing themselves as a rigid pyramid and instead begin viewing themselves as an intricate, tightly interwoven, complex network. The inevitable conflict within a fragmented system is severely exacerbated by entropy, the natural tendency toward internal chaos and energy-wasting friction that consumes valuable resources silently. When essential information is intentionally hoarded or the intentions between different departments remain unclear, collective energy is ruthlessly spent on fighting mistrust and internal political conflict, rather than focusing on external market targets. Organizational hologram theory proves that this internal friction must be actively overcome through holonomic processes that rigorously ensure the entire system vibrates in perfect cohesion. Failure within one component due to entropy, for example, severe employee burnout, rapidly replicates itself into other units through powerful negative emotional contagion, ultimately damaging the organization's entire overall performance. We must consciously invest in integration to permanently sever the chain of debilitating friction that compromises necessary adaptability speed. The key transformative solution lies in implementing the holographic principle, specifically the concept that the whole is contained in every part, which forms the organization's DNA and answers the open loop earlier. Every single individual, every small team, and every department must possess the complete holistic vision of the company, never just a narrow, partial description of their specific task. Possessing this comprehensive holistic vision allows every unit to adapt autonomously to unexpected market changes because they deeply understand the desired final destination and collective purpose. This principle promotes networked intelligence, ensuring that the most accurate decisions can be made swiftly at the localized point closest to where the problem originated. Implementing the holistic principle requires profound intentionality to create a culture of total transparency and shared understanding across all functions. The primary ritual for successfully maintaining this holographic quality is the information flow and cohesion ritual meticulously performed across the entire organization without rigid barriers. This ritual involves ensuring that knowledge, critical information, and necessary feedback flow horizontally and vertically at high velocity, systematically eliminating detrimental informational silos. This can include cross-functional briefings or utilizing technological platforms that aggressively encourage proactive and open knowledge sharing between disparate departments. Team cohesion is measurably enhanced through consistent interaction that significantly boosts trust and oxytocin, biologically strengthening the crucial social bonds needed for smooth cooperation. Deliberately managing these vital information and energetic flows is the single most important leadership action within the holographic organizational context. The holographic organization is scientifically supported by 3 performance criteria: maximal productivity, rapid adaptability, and high efficiency of adaptation within fluctuating markets. Adaptability is dramatically enhanced because crucial decisions are not stalled waiting for hierarchy approval, but can be implemented immediately by every unit possessing complete information. This holistic principle actively encourages multidimensional thinking, where problems are viewed not as isolated incidents, but as clear manifestations of underlying systemic failures across the network. An integrated holographic organization possesses a superior ability to recognize emerging threats and opportunities much faster than fragmented competitors. Mastering the holographic principle is the definitive key to maintaining a highly resilient and healthy system that thrives on change. Conceptual evidence for this model originates directly from organizational hologram theory, which was specifically developed to address the predictable failure of rigid hierarchical organizations when confronted with rapid, unexpected change. Empirical studies and organizational case reviews confirm that companies successfully implementing holonomic processes, holistic procedures, experience significant increases in adaptation and innovative performance. This research identifies 12 specific holonomic processes, HPs, that must be consistently practiced including best decision-making and unwavering commitment to ethical behavior universally applied. The model emphasizes that ultimate success depends not just on employing smart individuals, but on a superior system architecture that actively allows collective intelligence to flow freely. Companies implementing this profound principle successfully create an organizational DNA that is fundamentally stronger and exponentially more resilient. Leadership within the holographic organization must fundamentally shift its role from that of a rigid controller to an active maintainer of the architecture who protects the internal interconnections and energy flows. Leaders must guarantee that intellectual capital and human capital have equal, full access to the shared vision and all critical information, systematically eliminating knowledge monopolies that cause breakdown. The leader's core task is creating loose boundaries at the functional level, encouraging collaboration, but rigid boundaries at the purpose level, maintaining core vision focus. Effective leadership manages the complex dynamics of the system, focusing on the quality of relationships between components rather than micromanaging individuals' segmented performance. Implementing a holistic vision requires profound humility and a strong willingness to trust the emergent intelligence arising from the entire network. The greatest persistent struggle is overcoming deeply ingrained silo culture and the centralized ego that inherently resists delegating information and power to lower units. Silos create informational bottlenecks that are catastrophic for organizational adaptation, as critical data frequently becomes trapped in the wrong department, stalling crucial decision-making. Leaders must consciously promote decision decentralization to the lowest necessary level, closest to the problem, directly empowering frontline employees who possess the most accurate information. Overcoming the centralized ego requires a total revolution in the structure of rewards and accountability, valuing collective collaboration far above individual excellence. Organizational hologram theory demands that every person act as if the entire future of the company rests solely upon their individual actions. In conclusion, the holographic universe theory provides a powerful business framework. Superior performance reliably emerges from systemic interconnectedness and the whole in every part principle being fully internalized. The conflicts of destructive fragmentation and internal entropy are successfully overcome by vision integration and information flow rituals that promote deep, functional cohesion and collective intelligence. Scientific evidence from complexity science confirms that organizations that are integrated holographically exhibit significantly higher resilience against massive market disruption and extreme uncertainty effectively. You are the chief system architect and integrator of this vital system, and your true success depends solely on how well you synchronize the intention and information across the entire network. Use this revolutionary principle to fundamentally transform your organization from a rigid structure into a truly living, highly adaptive network. Therefore, now is the decisive time to immediately implement this holographic principle into your organization starting today, beginning with profound, honest openness. Challenge yourself to share the complete corporate vision, not just individual tasks, with every single team member, ensuring they fully grasp the holistic big picture. Remember this profound truth. Your greatest power is not capital, but the networked intelligence that arises from every well-connected component, which is the final secret to true organizational resilience. If this powerful holographic universe theory guide has fully opened your eyes to your organization's hidden potential, please show your deep commitment by immediately hitting the like button right now.